Hi guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, there we go. Let me just see if I can bring myself down just a little bit more. Okay, very good. Okay, you guys, so we're back to finish this this spread in my art journal. So we left off with doing all the millions of layers of collage like I love to do. So the next step I like to do is I like to take take gesso, or I think called Kilz, K-I-L-Z. You buy it by the gallon. You get it from it's a wall primer. Get it from Walmart, Home Depot, or Lowe's. You can buy it by the gallon. It's about $15 a gallon. You can buy it by the quart. It's about 7 or 8. Okay, so if you take a baby wipe and you can dip it into like the Kilz, like I'm saying, and use that like a gesso, or you can use gesso. And you dip it into the gesso with the baby wipe, you're going to get a nice light gessoing on your page. And I like it to be light because I still want to see through, I still want to see all the layers, everything I applied. We're just going to knock it back a little bit and also create a layer so that we can do other stuff on top of this. So I love the process of just layer after layer after layer, and I think that's what creates the piece to look really magical and mystical, which is always my goal, is to make something very mystical, very magical, very grungy, and really kind of graffiti looking too. Doesn't this look very graffiti? I saw some guys, and they're like very rough around the edge type of guys who grew up really rough in LA, and they're graffiti artists, and I totally related to them. Not like how they grew up, because I didn't grow up like that, but I just love the grunge of their art. And they took their grungy art, like their graffiti, which to me, I love a beautiful graffiti. A lot of graffiti to me is beautiful. And they took it to other things. They started working for rock groups, and this was a while back, they worked for rock groups, and they started doing album covers. They've done cans for what's that energy drink? What is it? Monster? Yeah. Monster cans. They really took their art and started putting it on all kinds of stuff. And took their graffiti that they used to do on sides of buildings where they used to get in trouble, and took it mainstream. And how they do their backgrounds just really reminded me of a lot of stuff I like to do. I love grunge, but then I love to put butterflies on grunge. And what was this? One of these guys, what was he doing? He's been hooked on butterflies. He said he has daughters. And like I say, he's a very rough around the edges type of guy. And years ago, he would have never put a butterfly on a damn thing. He said, but I have daughters. They love butterflies. So I started doing the butterflies for them. He goes, and then I loved butterflies. And he goes, you know, I'm a softer person now. I've grown up. My life isn't rough like it was before when I was growing up in LA. And he goes, and if you look at a butterfly, they're beautiful. And he puts them on everything. And I love butterflies. Don't I put it on everything? Anyway, I was just watching this channel. I'll try to link it below. I just love art, and I love artists, you know? So I love all types of people. So I love people that are nothing like me, people who grew up nothing like me, and learning about other people and other cultures. So like I always say, my mixed media goes way beyond mixed media. It goes to mixing up. It's also with people. I like to meet all types of people, have all different types of friends, all races of friends, everything. Mixed media makes your art more rich, and having a mixed media life makes your life more rich. That's what I think. That's my little opinion. Okay. Okay, so So now we have a nice base on here. We've kind of pushed some things back, but you still see everything, right? And it just really, I think, adds a magical little touch to do that. Okay, so let me dry this. It'll dry pretty quickly. Okay, so now let's add some more layers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some different things on here. We'll go through it, and then we're going to add some chalk paint on top of this, which I haven't ever added color with chalk paint before, but I did for the first time. If you see a couple videos back, I did jelly print with chalk paint to create like a Venetian wall look, so it's really cool. Okay, so I want to share something else with you really quickly. I took popsicle sticks. Now, you guys have seen this before when you pick them up out of a jar and it says messy writing, so you messy write. It says intuitive writing, so you do some intuitive writing. What I did is, there's all these different things I like to add in my mixed media, but I like to choose what I'm going to do. I don't want to just pick something random. So, most of the time. So, so what I do is as soon as I find a new technique that I want to use in my artwork, I put it on a popsicle stick and they all sit in this little glass jar, like this jar here. And I look through it so that I can remember, oh yeah, I want to do some intuitive writing. So we're going to do that. And then they're just like little reminders of things I want to add in my art. Doodles or marks. Oh yes, I want to do that. Fairy dusting my piece, of course. We always fairy dust every piece. Messy writing. And script stamp. Okay, I script stamp everything. So anyway, it's my idea sticks is what I call them. Okay, so doodling. That's the first thing we're going to do is some doodling. You know what I need to do? I need a stick that says add to foil because I have this gold foiling and we're going to add some gold foiling. And I don't have a stick that says add gold foiling. I think all my sticks are used up, are they? Just want one that says that. I thought I had some sticks in here that had nothing on them. Maybe I don't. All right, I gotta go get some popsicle sticks and put gold foiling because I want to do that. Okay, anyway, let's do, what did I say? Let's do some messy writing. Okay, so messy writing can be done in so many different ways, or with so many different tools. I'm trying to decide what I want to use. I have this pen just sitting here. I might just try to use this pen. Make sure this pen. Yeah. So messy writing is just start writing. And it doesn't have to, it's messy. Okay. So I'm just going to do some messy writing here. And I'm just using this pen. This is actually a pen. It's a stylus on one side and a pen on this side. It's black ink. And I'm just writing whatever thoughts I have in my head. I'm writing peace, love, acceptance, joy, peace, love, my last name, Belle, my first name, Angela. Now, can anybody read any of that? Nope. But it just adds another layer of fabulousness to your art. Haven't you ever seen art before and you're like, you see all that messy writing and you're like, oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm just trying to get you guys closer. Okay, so I'm just going to do some more messy writing here. Oh, that's a little too rough. I'm trying to find a place that's a little smoother. We can write down here. peace, love, acceptance, diversity. Just writing words that I like. Love, peace, happiness. So I just did some messy writing. So you probably can't even see the messy writing that I just did, but I did it. It's just another layer. So when somebody's up close looking at your work, they'll be like, oh, wonder what that says right there. That's cool, you know? And you can get whatever's in your head, you can get it out. That's really the most important thing. If you have some feelings that are out, if you have something really to say, you could take messy writing and write it right into your artwork. Nobody will even know what the hell it says, but you will, and you can get it out. So, marks. Okay, so I have another stick that says marks to remind me to do some mark making. So, let's make some marks. I like to use, you can use whatever to make marks. You can use paint, you can use paint markers. I'm going to use paint markers. And you can use regular markers. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use these paint markers. And I'm going to stick with the color palette that I already have going on in the background. So everything stays in the background. So this color is in the background. I have some pink in the background. These are paint over markers from Jane Davenport. These are fabulous. I wish she'd make more of these in different colors. I'm going to do some gold. Okay. And I think I'm going to do black. Where is the black? Where is the black? I might have to use a black marker. I know I had a black paint pen, but I'm not seeing it for some odd reason. I'll also use some white. I'll use a white one. Where the hell is my black one at? Alright. I'm not going to sit here and search forever. We'll just use a marker. We use a black marker. Alright, so let's put those aside. So let's make some marks. I always talk about this too. I had, and I've been looking for it, I can't find it. I had like a cheat sheet, and it was a bunch of different, just marks. So that I wouldn't even have to think about my mark making. I wouldn't have to think about different marks. I could just look at my little cheat sheet. And I don't know why I cannot, I'm gonna look again. I don't know why I can't find that little cheat sheet. What could have happened, I could have wrote something on the back of it, and then it ended up getting thrown away. Which is weird, but possible. Alright, I'm just making sure I can't find that little mark, little sheet marks on it. Just a second, guys. I'm just looking above here. I always have this little messy stash of stuff right in front of me that I like to refer to. And I put it here so that I can find the damn thing. Alright, is this it? No, these are some other marks, but this isn't the one I'm looking for. Alright, let me check one other thing. Yeah, no. Alright, let's go. So the first mark I'm going to make are little crosses. I love little crosses. So I'm just doing little crosses like that. See if you guys are seeing them. No, you're not. Let's bring this down. Okay, maybe I'm pretty close up. Maybe once I use a brighter color, you guys will be able to see these little marks I'm making. I'm just making crosses. Like, do you see that right there? Yeah, you can see them a little bit. So I'm just making, and I like to do things in threes. Okay, so those are some crosses in black. Let's use our this teal color. what other marks do I want to do? Let's do some equal signs. Okay, just little equal signs. And I kind of put them in areas that kind of have this color going on already, so that it's not super bold. Because I just still want, you know, I want this to still be in the background. But we're going to be putting paint over all of this too. And when I mean putting paint, we're going to colorize it. But we're going to colorize it with a baby wipe and chalk paint. And when you use a baby wipe, it again makes it transparent so you can see the colors through there. Let's do a paint pen with pink. Let's do some arrows. This is a pretty bright pink. Even though I like this, I want a softer pink. So this is a softer pink, this artesian marker. See if we can get it going. I don't know if it's going to work or not. All right. Get to moving on, paint pen. Huh. I'm trying to get it to start working. All right, I can't get this pink to start working right now. All right, so let's go with some gold. And we'll continue on with some arrows. All right, and let's do some X's, and we'll do that with the white paint pen. And hopefully we got this white paint pen going. Let's see. We got it going? I'm doing it right on my work. Doesn't matter. All right, this one's not working. Let me get out my Posca white pen. Hopefully that one's going to work. These usually are pretty consistent, ready to work. Yeah, so let's do what I just say. X's. Yep, the white one's working. I think I just heard my husband. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. Okay. All of a sudden this stopped working. Alright, well we got enough X's on here. All of my Posca stopped working. What is with my pens? Alright. Alright. I got a few of the white ones on there, so we're good. Okay, so done with the mark making. Good with that. I need to go through, I have a bunch of pens here, and I need to go through these paint pens to figure out what's working and what's not. I have a bunch of other paint pens that I can replace those with, so I need to do that. Okay, script stamping, we're not going to do that yet. I'm going to do that and fairy dusting at the end. And intuitive writing. Intuitive writing is really cool. What I like to intuitive write with is you need to use some, any type of ink. I like to use, for my intuitive writing, I like to use this ink right here. It's calligraphy. Anyway, it has like some Asian writing on it. I get it from Daiso. You guys, this is $1.50 for this big bottle. Is that fabulous or what? And I put it in this bottle so that I don't, so I can work out of it. And of course, now this bottle is not coming open. All right, let me see. You guys, just a second. I'm going to have to whack this. So you're going to hear some noise. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to break the seal on here. Hopefully it... Ooh, this video, I'm just having problems with opening things or things working. I'm glad before I started that I prepped my my gesso or my kills. It wasn't opening up. Okay, there we go. So this is just my black ink, okay? The one I just showed you. Intuitive writing I learned from Robin McClendon, and it's just writing that comes from your soul. And just, I take letters, how I do it is I take letters that, the alphabet, and I exaggerate them and turn them into another letter. And that's how I do it. And it just comes from within. And it's really cool. Some people call it soul writing. And I'm just trying to see what brush I want to use to do it. All right, let's try this brush, this size here. And you can use whatever size brush you want. Look, I could have used this one, but I don't know if I want it that big. So I might change to this brush. We'll see. Like this is an A right here, right? But I just distorted that A. We could do a C, and I just distorted a C. We could do a D, and I just distorted the D. E. See? And that's how I do it. That's an H. But you can never tell because I just took it. Here's a J. But I just went down like that and distorted the J. And put some lines through it. Okay? Alright, I'm going to do some more right here so you can see it. Let's do an M. An N. See? But you can't tell that I'm even, that this is just a regular letter, right? We'll do a P. There we go. Let's do a T. But we're going to put lines all the way through it. We'll do an F. Put lines all the way through it. See? So that's intuitive writing. Cool, huh? You can even do an intuitive, like, symbol. Like, just let it flow out of your hand. And I'm going to let this flow out. All right, there we go. There's an intuitive symbol. See? How cool, huh? And I learned that from Robin McClendon. I absolutely love it. She takes, like, jelly prints, especially the ones like the Venetian walls. She takes them all and does it. And she does her intuitive writing or her soul writing on those and then uses that in her collage. So I've done that too. And I love it. Okay, so now we've done that. I'm also going to save the gold for last also. We'll do it on top of the paint. But we got to dry this. And let me bring my camera back up. There we go. All right, so let me dry this really quick. Remember if this ink is water soluble, so when I do this colorant on top, if it's going to smear it. So I'll test that out, and if it does, I won't put my I won't color over it. And what I mean by coloring over is I'm going to pick some chalk paints, colors that are in this background already, and add a little bit of color here and there. So I'm going to use this chalk paint, Folk Art. I get them for $1.99. You get them for $1.50 this week at Hobby Lobby. This is a chalk paint. It's called Venetian Victorian, which is awesome. What other color? I want to use this. Wait, don't I use this? I think I want to use this. Yeah, this color here, which is called Cascade. It's kind of like a very pastel-y turquoise, and then this grayish color. Okay, so these I'm going to apply them with a baby wipe. And that keeps it so you can still see all the layers through. So see how we've been building up layer after layer after layer after layer. And it looks very grunge. It looks very graffiti. That's why I really related to those graffiti artists, these guys. Because I'm like, that is like what I love. That's the kind of stuff I do. This one graffiti artist, he does like, I've been doing calligraphy over the last year. I taught myself calligraphy with a book I got from Hobby Lobby. Well, he does calligraphy, and he does like a style, like, he does a certain style, but at the same time, he put his own style into it, which is what they really, a lot of, I was learning calligraphy, what they tell you, put your own little style into it. But he does it with a brush. So you even get, like, you can get a really big, fat, look out of it. Like, he used a brush like this. So he was working on a big canvas. So he did a whole graffiti background. So instead of, for his focal point was his message. So like the word imagine. He would totally do it in graffiti style with black paint and a brush like this, real square. So when I seen that, I was like, oh yes, ma'am. I want to do that. And I told him in his video, I said, you have inspired me. I've learned some calligraphy. I also do some intuitive writing. I said, but I want to do that with a brush and black paint. So I'm going to practice that. So that's in my, you know, that's in one of my ideas. And you guys will see it in my art here soon. Okay. Let's take some pink and rub some of this pink chalk everywhere. Not everywhere, but you know, do some colorant. This is just to add a little color. And if you, like right here on this butterfly, I don't want to add any more color to that. So I'm going to wipe it off there. But I want to add the pink to this area here. Okay. And then a little bit of this turquoisey blue. I'm going to add that right here. Okay, and that pink color, I think I want to add a little of that one down here. Okay, and the rest of that I'm liking the way it is. So let's go to the other side. I have this gray color and I haven't used that yet, so let me get another piece of baby wipe out. Okay. Alright, and then yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of pink right into here. Where else do we want to add pink? Right up into here. So this chalk paint is very, I like it. And I like anytime you want to see it translucent, apply it with a baby wipe. And then it'll make it, any paint that you use, translucent. But I'm really liking this chalk paint. It's going to dry really chalky, of course. And it's really translucent with a baby wipe. Like I see all my cool layers below. I love it. I love it. All right, let's add some blue in here. Of that turquoisey blue. I'm going to get kind of heavy with that right here. Yeah, you know what? When I just try to go over my over the intuitive writing. This is water soluble, so you can't go back over that writing, or it's gonna start messing it up. And it messed it up a little bit, but it just added more grunginess to it, so I'm okay with that. But I'm just letting you know. So when you do that, you might want to wait. When I did it, I forgot. So you just might want to wait until after you get done with putting all your paint and stuff like that, and make that maybe a last step, doing that intuitive writing with the ink. But we're fine. I just won't go over it with color. Okay, so we've added color on here, and I'm liking the way this looks. So I'm going to stop with the paint. See how that's looking? I think that looks really cool. Okay. So, yeah, I'm loving how that looks. What's the next thing? Okay, I did intuitive writing, script stamping, and fairy dusting the piece, and also the foiling. Okay, let's do the script stamping right now. And this is basically dry already, so I'm not going to worry about drying it. And you can do a lot of these techniques I'm doing and use just a lot more intense colors if you want with a baby wipe. You can put your color on and scrape it on with a credit card, like an acrylic paint. You could do watercolor over this. And that's another really cool technique. Instead of using the chalk paints, you use a watercolor over this. That looks really cool too. I've done that a lot of times. All right, so I love to add the script stamping. I think it adds it just really adds like a magical quality. And you're not trying to get this to stamp perfectly. You want it to stamp stronger in one area and less in another. So that's all you're doing. Okay. Cool. And I just really think that this script stamping always really brings this together, brings my stuff together. I add it almost to everything I do. Okay, I can get it to... I'm really having to go hard right here because, there we go. When there's a lot of texture and layers and stuff, in some areas it won't want to stamp as easy as in other areas. No major. Okay, there we go. So we've done our stamping. Now I did it with this script stamp here. Okay. You can get your script stamps anywhere. Michael's, Joann's, they all have them. Use a coupon because they're not cheap. They're usually like 15 bucks. I was able to pick up a script stamp last year though when Hobby Lobby does their clearance, which they're going to probably do it here soon. And I picked them up for $5. So I have another one I picked up for $5. Something like that. Was that this one? I can't remember. Anyway. All right, so let me put all that back up here. Hopefully I don't have a crafty avalanche. There we go. What else do I want to do? I'm trying to think if I want to fairy dust the piece yet. Let's do some foiling. So this is foiling. It's really thin sheets of like gold foil. Isn't this fabulous? You can use any glue. So I'm just going to use my collage glue, I think. No, I can't even get that damn thing open. I'll have to fight with it. So I'll use my Eileen's Tacky. It doesn't matter which glue you use. Also going to check my thing and make sure you guys are still there. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's do this. So I'm using Eileen's Tacky. It doesn't matter. You can use your collage glue. You can use Eileen's Tacky. Whatever you want to use. All right, so where do I want to put some of this gold foiling at? I feel like this right here is a little dark. It needs to be a little bit broken up. So let's put a little bit right into here. Okay. I need a glue brush. Where is one at? Here it is. So take my glue brush with a little water. I just want to put this glue on. And you want it to be kind of, you know, messy the way you put the glue on. You don't want it to be perfect, of course. So that the foil just goes on in a really natural way. Okay. And I use this little stiff brush to kind of break it up and get it on there. And this is, I just think it looks so cool in your art. Isn't it cool? So you get this in the craft section at Hobby Lobby. Damn it. And I don't know what aisle. It might be on the same aisle as you buy, where you buy the like the craft acrylic paints in the craft section of Hobby Lobby. I think that's where I found it at. But it's gold foil. Fabulous. Okay, we got to put it somewhere else. You know, we could use a little on the bottom here of something cool down here. So let's just go like that. Just use a little extra interest down here. Okay. And I love working like this because it's just so intuitive. Like, you know the things you want to do, but where you're going to put the marks at, or where you're going to put the foil. It's just all very intuitive. You look at your work and you just feel your way through it. And I love that part. And I want to talk about something. This whole series is giving myself permission to art journal every day. And you guys, it has added so much joy to my life that I know that every day, and I usually do it in the morning. It's one of the first things I do, that I get to start my day with art journaling or working on my art, period. Because I also am working on other pieces that I'm going to make cards out of. I'm starting to make my own custom cards with my artwork, and I'm going to sell them, and also notebooks, and I'm going to sell those too. So I'll be showing you guys those on my next session, and they'll be available in my Etsy shop, and you can take a look if you like. Okay, so that looks fabulous. So basically, not just art journal, I'm just giving myself permission every day for an hour, 2 hours to work on my art, period. Whether it's art journaling, whether it's on a piece that I'm going to, like one of my little canvas pictures that I'm going to be working on, whatever. I'm giving myself permission every day to spend a few hours on my art journaling or my art. So there's that gold at the bottom. Fabulous. Okay, so we'll let that go. Fairy dusting. Let's fairy dust the piece. That's one of the last things I do before I put my focal points on. And fairy dusting is something but white splatters. But here, for the people who have been with me for a while, we like to call it fairy dusting because that just sounds more magical. And what are we always trying to create? Magic. So let's take my white paint with a little bit of water. And you can use, I like to use a stiff brush. So I'm going to use this stiff brush here. You can use whatever. You can use just a plain old paintbrush. It's not stiff. You can use a fan brush. You're just going to get different. Let me make sure everything's out of the way that I don't want to get splattered. Just different types of tools that you use to make the splatters give you different splatters. Different, thicker, bigger, finer splatters. So. Now this, to me, fairy dusting your piece is what adds the magic. You can also fairy dust your piece with black paint. So if you think it calls for that, black splatters and white ones, do both. Or if you feel like it's one or the other, do that. But if your piece is getting dark, I wouldn't put black splatters. That's just me. Unless, it depends on what you're going for. But black splatters would make it a little bit darker. But you know what? This is the other thing I want to say. You could do black splatters instead of doing the script stamp. That might give you that same type of look if you don't have a script stamp in your life. But I would say, as soon as possible, get a script stamp. You'll love it. Okay. look how magical this looks now. Now this looks so mystical and magical and just, ugh, yummy. I love it. Okay. Guys, let me get a baby wipe from my hands. Let me look at my time situation. Oh, good. We're only at 40 minutes. To be on for an hour is a good amount of time. Hour and 15 minutes. Not that I'm gonna do it, but I'm just curious. Do you guys like that I make these hour videos and kind of do step by step of what I actually do? Or would you like to see a sped up version? Just leave a comment below and let me know. I mean, I'm not so sure I would do that anyway, because that's really not me, but I'm really kind of curious of how many people wouldn't mind seeing that. Okay. Before I put the focal points on it, I do want to use this stencil. This stencil is fabulous. Just look at it. It's just fabulous. It's very Tim Holtzy, but this is Andy Skinner. Look how fabulous that is. Another Andy Skinner. I use these a lot too, obviously. And I usually use them with black at the end of my work, because it just really, it really adds some coolness to your piece. Just look at, see if there's, imagine. Okay, so I'm going to take this 751 with black paint and put that on here. Let me get another little. I have a glass mat here, and I usually use the glass mat to take my paint and put it on the glass mat, but my book is covering up the entire mat, so I'm not able to do that. All right, let me get a makeup sponge, which I have right here. I'm taking some black paint on this little plate and a makeup sponge. And we're going to put some black, I got to move some stuff out of the way. Right here on the corner, I'm going to do the 751. Does that mean anything? Nope. I just think it's going to look cool. So that's why we're doing it. There we go. How cool. This says number 152 industrial. We're going to put that at the bottom. These Andy Skinner stencils, I think they have them on, I got them really cheap, you guys, at Tuesday Morning, like years ago. And, but I think I looked it up because I wanted to get an extra one of these, and I did get an extra backup. They have them, on eBay. Just look under Andy Skinner, and you'll see these type of stencils. He may even have something else cool that he's done since then. I mean, I'm sure he has. Cool. That looks cool. Now this smeared a little bit right here. Don't worry if you think it smears. That's just going to add to the coolness of what you're doing. Okay, this says, look at this one. Isn't that fabulous? This says Chocolatier. This says Carte Postal. I'm going to put that Carte Postal up here at the top. Just because I can. Okay. I can if I move some stuff out of the way. Put my glue away. I don't need that right now. All right. Cool. Love it. So these are just little things that I'm adding on that look really, really cool. In my opinion. the word Paris, I'm going to put right here on this side. And I'm trying to keep the things off to the side because I'm probably somewhere in the middle going to be collaging. Or off center, I'm just going to put my collaging stuff. So, just because I want some of this kind of stuff to show up because I think it's cool. Okay. Cool. Love that. And there's this little signal right, a little sign right there. I'm going to put that on each side of that Paris. There. And I'm going to put it right here. Very cool. And is there anything else I want to add to this whole thing or not? See, my intuitive writing got a little smeared right here. Since I got smeared right there, I'm going to do the 751 right here. So when you do your intuitive writing, I got to remind myself, make sure you do it. That's one of your last things after you've already put your paint on, if you're going to colorize your piece. So you don't smear it. That looks cool because it matches that right there. I'm just going to put this number 06471 just up here at the top as a little something something. I don't think I've even re-dipped back into my paint. My paint's just still on here. I have a little... There's a 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put that down here. So see how intuitively I'm working? I'm going to do the 1, 2, 3 over here too. I'm not even really thinking about it that much. I'm just letting it, you know, as I see things, I'm like, bam, put it there. Okay. Now I think for me, that is probably good. I feel like that's it. Okay. So we're going to put these stencils away. And put that in the bucket of water. Okay, so I think we're ready for focal points. Yes, we are. And I need to get my glue back out. Just threw that over here. Where did it go? There we go. You guys, you know what? My eye lane's tacky. I always store it upside down. If you do that, because it's a really thick glue, then you'll be able to get it right out when you need it. So. Also, like your jars of your, if you have your gesso in a jar like I do, or your collage glue, if you put Vaseline on the lids, it will help you be able to open up your lids easier. And I need to do that with both of those. And after a while, the Vaseline will wear off, so you need to redo it. So that's what's happened to me. So I'm going to do that after this session. Sorry, I'm just wiping off my nails. I put my new nails on, but I haven't painted them yet. I need to do that. I'm going to get to that today. Okay, so now it's time for focal points. So we got the background going. How cool. I mean, some people may think that is just one big damn mess, but not to me. And not to a lot of my followers. We like a big damn mess. It all comes together with the focal point. Or if I wanted to, like that one graffiti artist, like I told you, he would take this whole cool background and do a big message in like a calligraphy type of writing. Like I would see a lot of the Mexican culture do their calligraphy writing. This one style, and I don't know what I think it's Old English style, I think, and that's the style he does, but he does his own style of it, and I want to learn that style, but it's not easy. It's very very rectangular and square and triangular, and it's fabulous is what it is. Okay, so now we're going to do our collaging. So we got to decide what the heck we're doing with our collaging. Okay. I'm going to add that. I don't think I'm adding that red. We'll see. I thought I cut these pieces out. I guess I didn't. Okay. Remember we have all this to add if we want to. So, what am I doing? I'm definitely doing this little girl. Remember I told you this whole piece is called Celebration. I want to add a little piece of calligraphy that says Celebration somewhere on here, and I might do that off camera. You guys, if I have to do that off camera, I will, and I'll add it to this piece. And you can see that. And if I've added any extra little things, you can go on my Instagram, and this will be on my Instagram. Just because this video is getting kind of long, I don't really have time to, in the style of calligraphy I've learned to do that right now. So, okay, so we're going to add, not just that, there'll be a few pieces all added together. Little collage, you know, of course, several things together. This is also, so this is right here. Let me show you. This little girl is mixed, I believe. Look how beautiful she is. At this time, unless like in this era, you didn't see very many pictures of black people, period. Mixed people, children, adults. So I just want to call it celebration. Is I want to celebrate these children. Look how beautiful they look. Again, they're from a this time and age when you didn't see very many black people or people of color being photographed. And I want to celebrate them. And I'm going to celebrate them in my art. So fabulous. So those little kids are going to go there. This is another little girl that I believe is mixed. Isn't she beautiful? We're going to cut her out. We're going to use her in mine. And what an important message to be told when you're a child, that you're loved, that you're important, you're special, and you matter. And at this time, these children weren't told that. Very sad. Very, very sad. And I want to tell them that they do matter, and they are important, and they are precious. So I'm going to say that in my art. And I think from now on, period, I mean, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm just doing the art for the heck of doing the art because I love doing it. But whenever there's a message in my art, I definitely will share it with you. Let you know. Okay, I feel like I want this envelope on here, but I need to add something else there, so we'll see what the heck else we're adding. And there's this black lady, and she's very Victorian looking. How beautiful. And that's a rarity to find a picture of a black woman with a beautiful Victorian outfit on. Isn't that beautiful? I'm sure you guys are seeing it. Gorgeous. So I'm going to put her on this other page, I think. And here, mix her with this little baby. And these are just copies. I have, I've made copies. I have originals of all these pictures in my stash. So if I ever want to use it again, or I want to send a picture to a friend so they can use it in their artwork, I can. Do I want just this with this, or this with this? Or do I want this with this, and this, and this sticks out? I'm just trying different things to see what I like or don't like. Alright, so in real time, you guys are seeing me work this out. Okay, I think I like that. I like that a lot. And then her here, I may put her here by herself. I may add a few of these little things here. We'll see. Just a second, you guys, I'm cutting them out. They're like little tickets, little vintagey looking cool stuff that I think could look cool added to it. And you never know where your ideas are going to come from. If it's going to come from some colors that you like, that you want to work with in your art journal, or if it's some pictures. Like, for me, it was all about these pictures I'm showing you. And the colors that were in the pictures are the colors that I decided to work with. And the colors I decided to choose for my different things for the background that I used. So, or sometimes it's some ephemera that you see, or maybe it's a stencil, whatever it is. Let that be your inspiration. And a lot of times for me is I go through my focal points and I start pulling focal points or my own artwork. My own artwork might be the focal point. And I go from there. Not always, but a lot of times. Okay. Just a second, guys. Oh, you know what? I also have butterflies here. Just a second. So let me see if I want to put these butterfly on here. A big butterfly. And I also have a rose. And I'm wondering if I don't want the rose on here. Oh, it's too damn big. Okay. So I have this sheet of butterflies I got from Dollar Tree. Okay, now they're all pretty much too bright, except for maybe this and that one would work. Let me see. Love it. So she's going to be, I think it might be 2 butterflies. Just a second. Let me see if I like this other one. I'm going to take this off of here. That's it. Isn't that crazy how all of a sudden you can just... things just start working out like I like that now. See? Okay, so you guys, what I'm going to do for the sake of time of this video, I'm going to glue this down, come back, and this will be glued down, and then we'll just finish up by doing a little bit of doing a little black shading around the pages. So hold tight and I'll be right back. And how much time do we have? Okay, hold tight. Okay, you guys, we are back. I went ahead and basically finished up this because I went ahead and glued in all of my collage bits, all of my collage pieces. And I'm going to come in closer so you guys can see everything. But look how pretty this turned out. So I did a whole collage over here, and I did a whole collage over here, everything we talked about. But the only thing I added was I took some of my coffee dyed paper, and in calligraphy, I wrote celebrate. And the script I wrote this in, which means the type of calligraphy I did, was called Italic Hand. And this is the one that I've been working on over the last year. So I did that off camera because, like I said, just for the sake of time of this video. Let me just come in a little bit so you guys can see. And I'll move the book around. Does that look cool? Let me move this. I swear I have way too much crap on my desk. I really do. I need to think about just removing stuff off my desk just so I can have more art room. Okay. My problem is I like to collect a lot of crap. That's my problem. It's not crap. It's just like a lot of inspirational stuff that I like to have on my desk. Does that look cool? Let me show you back this part so you can see the collage part. Okay. So, and I'll have pictures at the end also. Oops, let's go back. Okay, hopefully we can get that back right. Let me see what you guys are seeing. Get my mirror out. Okay. So, the last thing to finish this up, which I like to do it with everything, and I won't do the whole page because it'll take too long. We'll just do a little bit. But I like to throw a little black smoky border around here, and you like so you can use to do that. You can use this is a Jane Davenport water soluble crayon. You can use a gelato in black, water soluble. You can use a Stabilo. You can use one of these, like a chalk thing. You can use an oil pastel, which I usually have out here, and I don't know what the heck happened to it. But I'm going to use my Jane Davenport. It's made to look like a lipstick. This line. It's a water-soluble crayon. Look how cool that is. And it looks like a lipstick. Anyway, so I'm just going to take and just do a nice little smoky border around. And this just gives you a nice finish to your work. It gives it a little border. I like to do it. A lot of people do this. Nothing original. And then you smudge it out. Let me see if I have a, yeah, I have a baby wipe where I can wet my finger. Let me wet my baby wipe just a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and then just go like this. And like I said, you can use a Stabilo. You can use a water-soluble crayon, which is what I used. You could use a watercolor black pencil. If you only have a black marker, you can use that. You could also use Tim Holtz, take a Tim Holtz ink pad and do that to the edges. If you only have oil pastels, you can use an oil pastel. Just don't wet your finger. Just use the heat of your finger, and it'll smudge it. So see what that does? That just really just finishes up your page by just adding that border like that. One other thing I just want to share with you guys quickly. Remember I was telling you about the graffiti artist, and the one guy, he did that style of calligraphy, but he did it with a instead of using a broad, okay, if you're going to do calligraphy, this is using a broad nib pen, a broad pen. So it's a broad nib. It's a fat nib. It's not that pointy one, so you can get fatter, thicker strokes like this, right? Well, he does it a really nice fat thick stroke. He'll use like a brush like this. I'll show you. A real square brush like this if he's going to work on a really big canvas, or a really square brush like that. Okay, so, and this is the style he did, and I thought, this is fabulous. This is the next style of calligraphy that I want to learn. So I want to learn it and use it with my broad calligraphy pen, but also I want to learn how to use just a square brush and black paint like he did. Okay, so he did a back on a big huge piece of canvas. I think it was a piece of canvas, or it might have been a board. He did he spray painted some graffiti colors everywhere, really cool. And then he wrote a really cool his own message or with this type of writing. Isn't that cool, you guys? It's called Black Letter Hand, and this is the one I was working on anyway. So I'm going to work on this one, learn how to do it, and then I'm going to learn how to do it with a big square paintbrush and black paint. So I'll know how to do it with my calligraphy pen and a big broad brush. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And if you guys are looking, this is the book I've learned how to do calligraphy. This is the book here. The Art of Calligraphy and Lettering by Walter Foster. And the calligraphy pen is right there in the same section at Hobby Lobby where they have these books, and it's this manuscript pen. And it comes with like 4 nibs. And it comes with cartridges. So you open this up, there's the cartridge. See? So, one day I'll come on here and just do some calligraphy. So, that'll be a cool little video to do, I think. But this is called The Art of Calligraphy and Lettering, and it's really explains things really well. And I love it. So, and I got this really cheap. This was like a $20 book, and I got it for like $5 and it was on clearance last year. So, that's cool. So, anyway, I just want to show you guys that. We are done. I hope you guys have been inspired. And the reason I wrote the word celebrate is because we're celebrating these little mixed children here, these little black children here, and this Victorian black woman here, because at that time, they were not celebrated. And I think they need to be celebrated. So, whenever I find these Victorian pictures of little mixed kids or black people, I'm going to put it in my work and celebrate their lives, and that's it. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so, and give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram, and remember, you guys, make time for you to do your art every day. Because, you know, if it's art journaling, junk journaling, whatever it is. But specifically in this one, art journaling. So art journal every day. Give yourself permission to do it every day. And remember, my friends, do something special. Do something special for someone today. And remember, my friends, we are more alike than we are not. And these times and the things that have happened over the last couple of days, we need to remember that we have more in common than we don't. I will talk to you guys next video. Bye.